Good evening, good evening, good evening. Make a correction in a minute. It is a pleasure to be before you today. Another day of interesting information. A journey that I've been on a long time. A journey. I was thinking today that we all are debating self. We heard the terminology, have heard, should have, the terminology of debate, college campuses, political debate, any form of debate. And then I took it another step further and began to say that we must debate ourselves, the things that we do, the choice that we make, the people we hang around, everyday decisions. Our decisions should not be based on emotionalism, feelings, what's in it for me, how it benefits me, what's in it for me, what can I get. Shouldn't be about that. It should be about truth. We all have opinions, but we should settle for the truth. The truth, not about an agenda, a purpose-driven agenda to get stuff from others, and not be concerned about other people. And I had an interesting thought of somebody may ask me, why are you doing this, Anthony? You could be out on the street doing other stuff that matters and to you. Leave this stuff alone. Just live your life. Go to work, eat, sleep, go to the bathroom, and just do stuff that you enjoy. Yeah, I could have done that, but that's not me. Because as far back as I could remember, I always felt that I had a purpose in life. A purpose in life. Even though I made mistakes, made bad choices, they did things that I shouldn't have done, regretfully, hurt people's feelings, selfishness, pride, stubborn, hard-headed, and the list goes on and on. I had to come to realize that if I don't stop going the way I was going, I'll eventually be dead, or even worse. So a little spiritual light came off in my head that really got my attention. No, nothing bad happened to me. I just realized after many experiences, there is time to listen. I had to put my agenda off to the side. I had to examine, do a self-assessment, evaluate my behaviors and lifestyle, and make a change and make a difference. I must admit that it was hard. The journey was hard. But I had to do what I had to do. Had to seek out the God as I know him to be. Had to die to what I thought I know. Had to practically start over and begin to learn about him. Maybe I had my Moses moment in the wilderness, looking at self in the spiritual mirror, seeing things that I did not like about myself. There are many people out there like myself that will share the things they've done in the past, hope it will bless someone, and they'll be encouraged and it will uplift them, and they will say, yeah, I have gone through that. I'm experiencing that right now. But a lot of us will keep our hidden secrets, which we should. A lot of us keep the secret of the things that we have done, the things we have overcome to ourselves, because we don't want people to think different of us. So we just pretend that everything is okie-dory and there's no problem in our life. And we continue on. So every day from the time we wake up is a debating of self. What are you going to put on? Who are you going to discriminate against? Who are you going to discriminate against? Should you have an agenda that does not hurt anybody's feelings? What are the motives behind your choices that you're making? Are you doing things just to get by? Are you doing things just to get something for self? Or have you woke up and realized that you must begin to examine self and begin to do things for other people and take your mind off of self? So I'm sharing what I have gone through, bits and pieces, and I probably will throughout this message series. I thought it might be one little message that I can speak in 30 or 40 minutes and be over with. But as I dig deep into it from my notes, which I didn't even touch last broadcast, I see where it can go to many other part 1, 2, 3s. I look at myself as maybe a trailblazer, maybe someone that someone can say, wow, finally someone is saying stuff that I think. Someone is saying stuff that I want to say, but I'm afraid to say it. I'm afraid to share it. So I just keep it to myself because that's the safe thing to do. But is it? That's my agenda. Should my agenda be your agenda? No. Because I'm coming from the perspective of we should accept the truth. It's not about who is right and wrong. It is about accepting the truth. And I thought about this when I was growing up. I used to stutter. I don't stutter anymore, but I have a problem pronouncing certain words: stress, street, shrimp, though, the, that, and so on. And I'll keep my mouth closed, and I didn't want to talk to people. If I did talk to people, I'll make it very limited. I shared this funny story one day. I said when I was young and I want to talk to a young lady, I would write out pre-planned questions on a little piece of paper or whatever. And I would memorize them. So when I did approach a woman, I was able to say what I want to say and not stutter. And they all laughed, but I did. I wrote down certain questions that give the appearance that I know how to talk. But behind closed doors, I did not know how to pronounce certain words. So I continued that path until a teacher recognized that I had an issue, and make a long story short, she sent me to a speech therapy center after school hours and helped me to pronounce certain words. And in doing so, I perfected how to say certain words. Do I still have a problem pronouncing words? True, I do. But do I stop talking? Nah. I talk more. And when I share people that story, they'll say, really? I would never know that if you didn't tell me. Then I was writing poems and songs. I want to be a songwriter. Then my true style come out in writing. And when I tell people I like to write, they go like, oh, really? Write what? Or they look shocked. Because I guess I'm not saying I want to be a basketball player or a rapper or something, but to write, which I'll get into as we go along in the message. So I thought about, we all need to evaluate self, begin to look at self and say, are we pleased with self? Are we pleased with the decision that we have made or is making? Are we pleased with the lifestyle that we are living? Are we pleased about the journey that we have taken? And if you're not pleased, with the choice you made, begin to make a difference by simply saying, I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to seek out the truth. Excuse me. Seek out the truth. Seek out the truth. We all can have our busy day of doing things in other people's lives. We can care less because we're so concerned with us. But I found out through experience, if you take your mind off self and begin to help and be involved with other people in other individual lives, providing you're not doing anything immorally or would send you to jail, you have peace in your own situation and you will receive answers in your own situation. When everybody is doing their own thing, no one is helping one another, then everybody's going to be going down the same road toward destruction, to a dead end. But we must begin to wake up from our lack of understanding, that we must begin to debate ourselves in everything, in every choice that we make. Every choice. No one is exempt from debating themselves. No one is exempt. But some people are afraid to debate themselves out in the open or even behind closed doors. Because when they make the change, people won't going to want to know why. And they may be afraid to tell them why they have changed. They may be afraid to change because they want to keep the friendship. They want to keep that relationship. That is what I mean when I say everything that we do is debatable. Do we have a hidden agenda? Is our motive is right? Is our motive to seek out truth? Or are we just simply sitting in a group bus of thinking, have no separate identity to self? I was not always this way. I did what I want to do. I justified my behavior, even though when I knew it was wrong. But even in the back of my mind, I knew that I need to make a change in my lifestyle, in my behavior. I knew that I had a purpose in life. I was existing, but not living. Living and existing, which is another message I gave. You can look it up on YouTube. We all must recognize that when we are so busy and consumed with self, time passes real fast. And before we know it, like, wow, it's almost a new year. Why should we wait for a new year to come to make a difference? Every day should be a new year, a new thinking, a new idea, a new belief, a stripping away of old behaviors and bad behaviors and putting on new behavior, a new way of thinking. We as individuals need to be mindful that we are responsible for ourselves. We must begin to debate the choices. We must debate the conversation that we have with others. We must debate who we're hanging out with, family members, extended family members, friends, associates. Are they good for us? Are they positive thinkers? Are they positive individuals? Are they encouraging? Are they supportive? Are they always putting me down? Are they always negative? We must be mindful who we share our goals and plans with. I say in the last message, just keep it to yourself. You pursue it. When it happened, it just happened. Because you don't want to owe anyone who said, you don't want to blame anyone. Oh, you told me to do this and I did that and it didn't work out. Or it works out and then the person that gave you the information turn around and say, you owe me something for what I did and help. So the best is keep it to ourselves. So no one is exempt from debating themselves. Even the local churches, even the one that you go to, the one I have on my journey of spiritual awakening, in order for me to understand how God operates, I was sent to many churches. Some I even want to go into, but I had to go into it to learn about Him. When you go into the military, before they send you abroad, they will train you, teach you, educate you about where you're going, the laws and the customs, so you won't get in trouble. The church should be just like that. should warn you, should protect you, should cover you with truth and understanding, and not looking the other way or teaching and preaching stuff that's not even in the word of God. Yes, I'm being truthful. Everyone have an agenda. What are your agenda? What are yours? Do you want the truth? When I used to, back in the day, long time ago when I attended church, I remember going to church and had Bible study. You was able to raise your hand, ask questions, and the minister will answer the questions. And now they have gotten away. Some of the churches, they have Bible study at night, but I always say it's a part one of Sunday service, and then Sunday comes in another Sunday service. And if they have any big mass discussion, it's rarely done in some churches. And then a lot of people don't even want to ask a question because they don't want to appear to be, don't have the knowledge or wisdom, or someone will say, well, they asked a stupid question. Everybody should know that. And so they keep their mouth closed. The church should be a place where there's a difference from the world. When the church is remain quiet in the midst of all that's going around all around us, and then have no say so, then something is wrong. You have a Bible and I have a Bible, and we can look through it and see, find the truth as pertains to our choices. We must wake up from being delusioned, seduced, being blinded, and yet we can see. So no one is exempt from debating thyself. Debate yourself in areas where you're weak. Debate yourself in areas where you're strong. Like I mentioned, you can put a list, the do's and don'ts, the positive and negative. Evaluate self-assessment. Begin to tear down self and be a new person in your way of thinking. Begin to make a difference in your life. And when you are ready, when you are prepared, when things are good, are going good in your life, then you can and will be sent to other people to help them, to give them a little bit of truth. Not force it down their throat, but give them a little bit of truth. A lot of individuals cannot take the heavy hitting stuff. It may not be your place to even tell them anything about their lives. You must just simply ask their question, answer their questions when they ask you a question. It's not about your plans. It's not about your will, your motive. It's not about you making them to be whatever. It is about you simply doing the right thing. Do the right thing. Don't seek out your motive. Don't seek out your agenda. As I mentioned earlier message that spawned this particular message, where the individual saying the law, the white man write a law to oppress, I'm paraphrasing, to oppress, to punish, to hurt black people. So my question is, show me a law on the books that say this section is for black individuals, when every law that's passed is passed among Congress members, black, white, male, female, multiple races, pass a law and it becomes law. So there's no such thing as there's a black law. You may go back in the past and say, oh, they put up signs and say, oh, this and that, but the law, I have not read where a law was saying that this law go against black people. And there probably is something out there. But into the we cannot take what we are experiencing right now and apply it to, let me say it backwards. We cannot take what happened in the past in the 1650 and 1800s and apply it to the 21st century. It won't fit. It's like going back in the time with an iPad or a phone. They won't even know what you're talking about. They may even kill you, consider you a witch. So we can't take today's technology back into the past because there's nothing there. Won't be anything. There won't be no foundation for we to use those things, and they won't even know what we're talking about. They won't even know what we have in our hand. So we can think we can apply certain laws of this era, 21st century, back into the 1600s, 1800s to make things good, but it's not. We must begin to, thank you, we must begin to call into question the things that we do. Always ask why. Who is behind what I'm hearing and seeing? Why are they doing this? What are their purpose? What are their purpose in what they're doing? I was thinking before I came on, we have TV, the news, television shows. All those stuff can keep us busy, even the soap operas. Keep us so busy into the outside world. But we don't take time to look at ourselves. We take things that we see on TV and apply it to our lives. But we have no identity. Are we a race of Black individuals that have no identity? We may have our own personal identity, but as a group, do we have an identity? Is our identity only fixed with one holiday out of the month? So we must debate our choices. We must debate the things that we do. As I mentioned, even ministers, if ministers in churches were to preach and teach what God has said and not what they said and what they said that God told them, and preach from A to Z, we probably would be in a better position in today's society. Right has become wrong and wrong has become evil. And when you begin to speak up the truth, you're scorned by other people. We as believers, our thinking should be totally different from other people. Totally different from other people. Are you going to live? Are you going to be alive 20 minutes from now? No, you don't know that until 20 minutes comes. Should you make a difference in someone's life? Would you want to be known that you made a difference in other people's lives? Have someone come up to you and say what you taught them and what you shared with them has been a blessing for them? They thank you for saying it. It hurt their feelings, but they need to hear it. Or are you one of these individuals that don't care what other people say? You're going to do what you want to do because that's how you are. And that's your choice. But you're going to reap the consequences for you not debating self. Begin to debate self in all areas of your life. Marriage, relationship, children, how you handle your children, how you handle your spouse, how you handle situation, how you handle business, how you handle money, how you handle everything. Begin to self-debate self. Do an opposing. Be against and be not against. Be a negative and a positive. You can't have a negative. You're going to attract a negative. You're going to attract a positive. You can't walk on a fence and say nothing is not going to touch you. We must begin to wake up. So all the laws on the book, every law on the book, unknown to the average citizen, they say, oh, the law on the book, it was written by a white male or whomever. But through research, you will find out in any state of the 50 states, there are laws on the books that come from the Bible. You just have to find them. In the year, I remember being a police officer. Do you know there's a law in the book for fornication? Do you know there's a law in the book, a man having sex with a man or woman versus woman? Have you heard or seen people being arrested that's not married, get caught in the back of a seat car and they get arrested and go to jail for fornication? No, but it's on the book. There's laws on the book that people have sex with animals, dead people. Yeah, people do that. So a lot of laws, the laws that we have that governs the court system, the judicial system, the executive branch system is in the Bible. You may don't believe me, but it's there. So laws are put in place because we are evil, sinful individuals. I wrote a book titled The Seeds of Zeus. In this particular book I wrote, I said, wow, this book can apply to what's going on in this country, or have been going on in the country the last 10 years. And this is the one I call it, I don't know if you can see it. It's called The Seed. Yeah, The Seed of Zeus. It's about, paraphrasing, fighting against the spiritual seeds of God, or you can say truth. There are people out there that want to destroy you and I by planting the wrong seed from movies, television, ideas, belief. And some individuals fall for it. I fall for it too. But we must wake up. They have answers. They have history information. It has factual information. It has facts that you can look up yourself. You can go to the United States Congress website, the governmental website, and find information that I've put in this book. And be like, wow. I even put in the book where it showed every laws that govern the land that's in the Word of God. So as I'm preaching a Bible or something, no, I'm just simply saying that we need to educate ourselves in all areas of life, so you will not be taken advantage of. Having knowledge give you power. Having knowledge make you an educated person, that no one can't come to you and tell you something. And if you don't educate yourself, an individual will come to you and tell you something to get you to believe and lie, because it's their motive. They have an ungodly motive to get you to believe what they want to believe. They have a hidden agenda. If you look into individuals, any group, if they do not give you any, even a church, even having a conversation with your friends and family members, if you have a discussion, or you listen, or you read, where you're getting one side of information, your radar should go up. Because when someone gives you one side of information, there's always another side. You give me both sides and let me decide for myself if I want to believe it or not believe it. But most, not all, will simply won't even follow through. They will believe it, and some won't even investigate it, and they simply follow the lie because they have a hidden agenda. They don't want to change. They don't want to change. So it ties into, why am I doing this? Because I debated within myself many years ago. Why should I sit on my gift and enjoy it for myself, and afraid to share with others because of lack of response, the lack of understanding and wisdom, and people accepting the things I say and reveal to them? Why should I accept it? Excuse me. Why should I just allow those thoughts to make me feel bad and down? Yes, I have done that many times in the past, but I've overcome that. It's not about the likability. It's about the truth. It's not about having 1 million people liking what I said. It is about the truth. Yes, people are going to hate me, can't stand what I said, but it'd be the truth. If we start opening up about self and let people see the other side of us, and we start exposing and revealing what's going on into our own neighborhood that people don't want to talk about, nothing's going to happen. We must have a voice. Think of the slave days. Individuals, Sojourner Truth, Booker T. Washington, Rosa Parks, all these black, what I call trailblazers. They saw a problem and they dealt with it. Today we have people that say they speak for us, but do they really speak for you and I? Or do they have an agenda and only use you and I for their own selfish agenda? And when you confront them with the truth, they want to shut you up and say you're not one of us. You're a sellout. You need to stay where you belong, because those people are not on the other side of the tracks, are no good. Which brings to me, it's going this direction, so I'm just going to tie this particular book called Thug Desire. You see the egg in it? An egg, you can crack it and be a yellow yolk, or the chicken can sit on it and it become another baby chick. So what is my point of this book? It's a young lady, black female, making 6 figures, going to college. Her family say, don't bother those people on the other side of the tracks because it's not good for you. So she moved away from home, and she thought about what her parents said about don't go and deal with the people on the other side of the track. So I will name the titles in the book as The Birth of a Thug, Desire for a Thug, The Desires of a Thug, Tasting a Little Bit of the Thug Life, and The Death of a Thug. In this particular book, the journey took place in her mind. She went to her parents' house. She thought about what they have shared with her. So she fell asleep, and she began to experience these chapters in her mind in the book. And at the very end, when she woke up, she determined, based on the last chapter, death of a thug. We all can be thugs. We can have thuggish behaviors, thuggish mindset, thuggish wants and desires, and we desire that thug life. Some young ladies will date a thug. I'll give you a joke, not a joke, but I recall being a police officer. I liked this particular young lady. She liked me, and she simply told me, I can't date you. I said, why not? She said, because dating you will draw a crowd and people won't like me because you're a police officer. But I say, explain the difference. If you're dating and involve yourself with a drug dealer that you know that's selling drugs, what is the difference? She didn't see a difference. So she allowed herself to experience a thug life, a thug behavior. We all have it. We all have the potential to want this thuggish behavior to come out of us. But we need to either birth it or stomp it and kill it and crack the egg and don't let it manifest in our lives. We need to begin to escape, evaluating ourselves. We must begin to escape from our own self-imposed plantation of ideas and belief. Escape from it. Escape from the plantation that we allow ourselves to be put on from family members and friends and relatives, which brings to mind this particular book. The title is You Need to Deliver, Escape from the Plantation. So what plantation? Escape from the plantation of my belief and ideas and my wants. And I get you to come on my plantation of ideas and wants and belief. Give me a little bit of truth with a hidden agenda just to keep you there. And then one day you wake up after hearing the truth from someone else. So you escape from the plantation of what you allow yourself to be enslaved on. So how does the slave master, slave owner, get you back to their way of thinking? They begin to whip you with lies of accusation, tell lies and falsehood, share gossip, and you go right back to that person. I'm sorry, master, I didn't mean to think differently. We do that in relationships. Women breaks up with the man, husband, go divorce and get a divorce and run back to him and have sex with him because that's who she's been with for however years she's been married. Women break up with boyfriends, vice versa, and they always run back to them for a particular reason. They leave the plantation of abuse, mental and emotional abuse, but yet they run back to the plantation. So we must begin to do a self-evaluation. We must begin to ask to God as we know him in prayer and say, what should I do? How should I pray? What should I do? Show me me, which brings into mind this book titled, Teach Me How to Pray. And when I began this particular series, I had no intention of even throwing these books into the message, but I had a thought that I should have them in front of me just in case they pop up and I can blend it in the message, because it's showing you how I did a self-evaluation of me, us debating within me to find out me, And then when I find out me and make the necessary correction, then it can help other people. And that's the book. In my first particular book, I see you always have snakes in your head. I said, what are you talking about? Again, self-evaluation, self-assessment, debating yourself. What are you talking about? I'm not this way. You say I'm that way. I don't see it. The thoughts that we think in our head can be like snakes. You never amount to anything. You're just like your dad. You're just like your mom. You're stupid. You this, you that. Those thoughts is in your head. You start thinking them. You start biting yourself like a fang of a snake. You injecting yourself with the poisonous venom of more thoughts to flow through your mind. And you are biting yourself, not the other person. You may blame the other person, but you're the one with the fang that's biting yourself and allow yourself. So what do you need? You need the truth, not the agenda. You need the truth, which is the anti-venom that will set you free. It may take a while. It may take time to get in your system, but you need the truth. You need the truth. We need the truth. I did not become this person overnight. I heard many years ago that I need to find God as I know him to be. I need to find self. I knew I had a calling. I knew I had a gift. And then I came up with another book called He Still Speaks. Now listen. It's a combination of parables. I got titled as What is More Important to You? Tomorrow, Baby Got Back, Spiritual Police. Do Not Text Me, All Bones. You are apprehended. You are apprehended. You are apprehending yourself every day with some thought. You allow somebody's thought, you allow yourself thoughts to apprehend you. You have become your own warden. You have put yourself in your own self-imposed prison. You allow yourself time serve and get out and do certain things. You come back and put the mental handcuff on yourself. And what happens? You give yourself good time and behavior, you let yourself out, only to arrest yourself. And then your rights are read to you. That you have the right to remain silent. You do not have the right to remain silent. You have the right to know the truth. You have the right to ask for the truth. You have the right to ask for someone who you feel that can give you the truth. So it's not about remaining silent. We must wake up those of us who are sleeping. As I continue my journey of finding self, evaluating self, self-assessment, debating self, and I never look at these books as a form of debating self. I never look at my journey as debating self until, if you listen to part 1 message, you see where it came from. But we must begin to evaluate self and determine what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do about what I'm going through. I need to seek out someone that I feel that can have the answers. They're not going to make me feel bad. That I can share the deepest thing about myself to them. And hopefully I get the answer. Not to condemn me, not to punish me, just to reveal to me, why am I experiencing this? Why am I experiencing this? What do I need to know? My life matters. Everybody's life matters. Who am I to say your life does not matter over my life? We hear this today. My life matters more than the other person's life. Oh, really? Who conceived you? Where do you come from? If you didn't have a mother and father, you would cease to exist. You would not be here today. So when you have a mindset that that person's life does not matter, you'll be more inclined to rape them, kill them, shoot them, inflict emotional and physical pain upon them. Because what? Your life matters more than that person. So I began to think many years ago, I had this book. This is called my book. Actually, this book here, From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. I put it together. First, I wrote the book, From the Eyes of a Cop. And I sat on my shelf, just a draft from years. And then I kept hearing stuff about police officers doing this, police officers doing that. And I said, that's not true in every aspect of life. Yes, it's happening, but it's not all bad. It's not all this, but it's more of that, or vice versa. So I didn't do anything with it. And then the Black Lives Matter group came on the scene, and it gave me a thought to put the two titles together, From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. I have factual information in there that no one can dispute. You can research it and find it for yourself. And one thing I learned in life, that when we are following a lie and has become ingrained in us, we don't want to accept the truth. We don't want to consider the truth. We don't even want to look into the truth. We just want to stay hardcore on what we believe. And then when bad things start happening to us and we experiencing no growth or whatever in our life, we never put two and two together and say, wow, maybe because I'm rejecting this message or something someone else said, I should have partake in reading or understanding about self. I'll probably have been in a better position. So From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter, I put together, and it's actually free. I copied the whole book and I pasted it on my website. You can go there and learn more about me. It's called HeStillSpeaksNowListen.org. HeStillSpeaksNowListen.org. All one word, lowercase. He still speaks. Now listen. Scroll across the bar, the toolbar, and you'll see BLM. Click on that, and the whole book is there. Warn you, there's a lot of factual information you may not even be aware of, but you must know the truth to set you free. You have information that you can go in and see in the congressional records, part of our laws on the books that you can even investigate yourself, to educate yourself. So when we begin, this book will help you to know that, wait, I believe that, and look right here is a law. It's actually a law, but I was told something else. When we refuse as Black individuals to educate ourselves, when Black individuals refuse to go back to school and get a GED, they cannot even go further in life. They can't get a good job. To drop out of school and never go to school and to drop out of school and never go back and get a GED, limit your spiritual growth, limit you in society. You can't function in society. So yet you'll be prone to stealing and robbing and doing things, and you can't even get a job at a fast food restaurant because you don't have a GED. You have a GED, or you don't have a GED. Go back to school. I met one female, worked in a particular fast food place, don't have any children. Recognize that the choice that they had made had put them in a position where they were. They realized that they must go back to school to get a GED, because that person told me they can't go any further from the fast food restaurant, and they don't want to get pregnant and let the government become the husband and the father of the child. There are a lot of mothers out there who have not gone back to school, who just settle for the government to be their husband and wife, and that's their choice. Am I putting them down? No, that's their choice. But I'm here to tell you that you can go to school and get a GED. And then when you do that, when you go apply for a job and you do not have a GED, they may not even hire you. Some places will hire you, but they're going to pay you limited salary. Am I saying a person with a GED can't become a millionaire? No. But I'm saying you find out what you need in your life. Because every diet is not for everyone. Everyone must go through their own breakdown process to be slim again or want to lose weight. So go back to school, brothers and sisters, to get an education so you can go in life further than where you are right now. So check out the book online and you'll see other things that I put on there on my channel. Again, He Still Speaks, and I listen.org. And then finally, this one is the Hidden Tears of a Black Male. Hidden tears. If I was crying right now, you would be saying, wow, Anthony has a problem. He's crying. But what are the hidden tears that you don't see? We all have them. Men and women of any race have hidden tears. They're sad because of someone may have died. Their loved one may have died. Mother, father, brother, sister, niece, cousins. So they have hidden tears. Some people don't even shed a tear because of a loved one. They don't even cry. They don't even let that part out. So they keep it within inside of them. I've been told that's not good because it can cause a lot of mental problems. So the hidden tears is our behaviors, the things that we do, the things that we do on the outside that people look at and see. So, wow, that person crying out and don't even know it. That person crying out because they don't have the information. That person needs to know the truth. What is the hidden agenda behind all this hidden tears? And it has my experience as a police officer when I put things together and I have a particular chapter say why I cannot tell. And I say this to say, I'm going to paraphrase it. Husband and wife are together, boyfriend and girlfriend, and they can't tell that something is happening to them. They're being abused physically, emotionally. They are experiencing physical abuse, being battered and blue, being sent to the hospital, afraid to go to sleep, afraid they will be killed while they're asleep, being forced upon for sexual pleasure. They can't tell their mother or father, or they can't even call the police because they won't be believed. They're afraid to go to sleep at night. They promise that they won't tell. Just let me go, let me go. I'm tired of this physical abuse. I'm tired of you putting your hands on me. I'm tired because no one won't believe me. And they're crying out to their loved one, please let me go. I'm tired of being knocked about. I'm afraid that you're going to kill me one day. Hidden tears. Why they could not tell anyone? Because it was a man experiencing abuse. Men do experience physical and emotional abuse from the hands of females. It is a close-kept secret behind closed doors. But men do get beat up by women. I remember in my own apartment one day, I heard a commotion outside. I peeped through the peephole. This small young lady, maybe about 5'5", had this 6-foot guy against the wall with a hand against his chest and said, say something. Like she's going to knock him out. And he won't say anything. I was going to open up the door, but something tell me no. Because I knew if I opened up the door, him being a man and me being a man, he's going to say, he may try to act bad and then experience the consequences when I close that door. So men do get beat up. So I often wonder when a professional basketball player or some famous person is accused of hitting his wife or hitting that woman. I often wonder, was he trying to stop her from hitting him? And because he's a football player, a professional athlete, or someone famous, he's not going to say, well, she beat me up or she hit me, because he don't want his friends and family members to know that he's a man and he got beat up by a woman. Yes, it's a secret that's kept behind closed doors, that some women can be very abusive with their mouth. They're not encouraging. They don't support the man. They don't uplift the man. They're always downing the man. They're comparing the man. You know the drill. And I've spoken to females that have admit doing that. I met a woman that told me, well, we deserve it because what happened to her in the past. So all of this stuff, as one woman said, a lot of messy women out there. There's a lot of messy men out there. We all got a lot of messy trash that we carrying in our mind. Our trash can of a mind is full of mess. We need the truth picker to pick out the trash It begins to give us the truth. So we can smell fresh with fresh thoughts flowing through our mind. So we live in a life of messiness, messy women, messy men. So those are our hidden tears. Hidden tears. Like I said, it was not my intention to even, I have got on the first page of my message, and I'm just going with the flow. But these are the books that I have written that you can find them on Amazon. And if you want a copy, autographed copy, if you live in Georgia, or even if you don't, you can just instant message me or put something in the chat section when you see me online. Even if you don't see me online, and I will email it to, I will mail it to you. Shipping and handling will be free. And I say, whether I sell the book for to those who come, it's cheap by getting from me $10. Or if you want two, I say two. I have to think of one, two for 15, something like that. But you can get the BLM book free online. And then have other stuff on my website, He Still Speaks Now. Listen. So all that I'm sharing with you is to show you that I did a lot of self-evaluation, self-assessment. I'm using this particular platform, this particular message to expose my dark side, expose what I went through, how I became what I am now. What is I'm doing? What is my intention? What do I see myself doing in the future? I'm sharing me to you. Why I'm doing this? Because I want the things that I share with you to be a blessing, and hope it will touch you in such a way that will cause you to open up your mind. So if you like what you heard, just simply share it with other people. Don't think for them. Don't even think for them. Just share. I heard something that you need to hear, and let them hear it, and let them make their own decision. So if you want to email me, I can give you my email. It's TODANOW@WRITEME.com. To write me, today now write me. So I'll say it again. TODANOW@writeme, WRITEME.com. Today now at writeme.com. If you have any questions, if you want to share your story, if you want to share something that you want me to talk about, if you have a topic that you want me to talk about, just simply, as one may say, hit me up with an email and I will respond. I want messages. I want to talk about positive things. Yes, you can talk about, share that you have fallen and you slipped and you got up. People can learn from your mistakes. People can learn from consequences. All these books that I put before you is my life, my examining, my self-debating self. Wonder what I should do. These books I want to be a foundation to cause you to open your eyes up and question the direction that you're going. So again, if you like what you heard, share it and allow people to hear what you said, heard. You can comment on it. And Lord willing, I'll be back online again. I will give you the time when I'll come back, hopefully soon, Lord willing. So thank everyone that attended this session. Thank everyone beforehand that will watch it in the future. So it's my hope that you get something from what I have shared. Listen to part 1, listen to part 2, and then I know there'll be many other parts to this message. Thank you. Until we meet again, God bless.